Very good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rakesh. Good evening, Geeta, Rishi, Yasvita, Kirti, Sairaj, Lavanya, Kirtana, Manoj, Arya, Ajay, Harsh, Anita. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, Swati. Good evening, Aniket. Uh, right. I'm doing good, Priya. Kind of recovering. It's just normal fever. Uh, the other day, I mistakenly drank a bit of cool drinks, and it started with a severe cold and eventually turned into a 103 degrees fever. That is why I had to take leave yesterday from the session, and that is when the others had to pitch in and engage and keep the momentum ongoing. Doing good, Kirtana. Thank you, Jaya. But definitely, I was missing all of you guys. Even at the last minute, also, I was thinking, shall I just pitch in and shall I just start with the session? But trust me, the condition was extremely critical, and I wouldn't be able to sit and speak continuously for 2 hours. And in fact, today also, if it wasn't for ExcelR and if it wasn't for my students, I wouldn't be working at all. In fact, I wasn't working the entire day. It is only uh, this session that I'm taking for 2 hours. Great. I would be starting in another couple of minutes from here. I just want all of the participants to be present. Meanwhile, I have a small request for all of you. Whatever we have discussed it in the class with respect to object orientation day before yesterday, I remember the object creation part is still pending. I had explained what is object orientation. We had also understood the 5 principles of object orientation, and then we also started with the first phase of programming. We took up a sample example, the student object, and then I also told you the agenda would be to convert that pictorial representation of the student object into the programmatical code. There also we have been successful to an extent of 50%, because all that we had created in the last class was just the blueprint of the student object. We had not created a single object, because I hope all of you remember, according to the 4th principle of object orientation, classes don't exist in reality. What exists in reality is only the objects. Now I had to teach you how do we create an object, and it was already quite late. I think it was around 9:30 in the night by the time we had to conclude the session. That part is pending. That is what I'm going to speak first. Right. So it's a humble request. Please go through your notes related to object orientation and everything. Then at least to 5 of you randomly, I'm going to unmute, and I would ask you to unmute, and I would ask questions with respect to object orientation concept, whatever we have discussed it in the previous class. Sagar, can't see screen because I'm not showing any screen. Anyways, so please revise, go through the previous class. Randomly, 5 of you are going to be picked up and you will be asked questions with respect to the object orientation concept that I have spoken in the previous class. You should be able to answer to my questions. Now, just because you were absent or you did not revise, I highly recommend that you don't run away from the session itself. If you don't know, you tell me, sir, maybe I was busy with my academics, I didn't have time to revise. But just escaping from taking the questions, I don't think so. It is a courageous step for anybody. Have courage to face your failures as well. Anyways, take exactly 3 minutes, 7:15 sharp. I would start with the Q&A session for 5 minutes, and then we are going to kickstart the technical discussion for today. Right. Please revise. Manoj, instead of me telling you the topics, please log into the portal. On the LMS, you'll find the recording of the yesterday's class as well. You will find it there. Right. Can we start with the discussion for today? Are all of you ready for the Q&A discussion? Perfect. Okay, I would like to first see, once again, I would first of all lower all of your hands. Uh, if there are any enthusiastic students of mine, sir, we are completely ready. Whatever questions you want to ask, we would like to volunteer. Instead of me randomly picking somebody, do I have any dedicated students of mine who have understood everything that I have spoken in the previous class and who would like to volunteer upfront? Sir, you can ask. We are ready. Please do raise your hands. Please do not disappoint me and break my heart. I'm expecting there are 260 students here. I would expect all of you to raise your hands because trust me, I put in a lot of efforts to simplify all of these concepts that everybody, irrespective of your background, you should be able to understand. That's good to know, Ashfaq. And please pardon me, I will not be able to keep my video on only for today. I still have a lot of symptoms of cold. Right. Okay, out of 270 students, we have got only 45. That's really uh, less percentage of students. Okay, 53 hands raised. And I'm telling you, if you don't raise your hands, definitely the question will come to you. Suddenly the count has increased. So that the question shouldn't come to us. Okay, let us quickly start now. I see that there is a student called as Khushi Singh. I have given you the rights to unmute Khushi. Could you please unmute yourself? Khushi Singh, am I audible? This is the third call, Khushi. I want you to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Right, Khushi. Were you present for the last class, Khushi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Simple question, Khushi. Please define object orientation.
Sir, it refers to the perspective of looking at the real world entity, that is collection of objects.
Good, Khushi. It refers to the perspective of looking at this real world as a collection of objects. Very good, Khushi. You can mute yourself. Okay. Next, Harisha G. Sorry. Harisha G. Please unmute yourself. Harisha G. Please unmute yourself. All of your names are going to be noted. Those of you who are not unmuting and responding to me. I would give you 5 minutes, Harisha. I need a valid explanation in my chat box. If not, you will be out of the session. Next. G. Naveen, please unmute yourself. This person left the meeting. Anyways, 1 second. I'll just note down their names. It would be shared with the internal team. Right. Last person. Supriya, please unmute yourself. Supriya Kotha, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hello.
Yes, you're audible, Supriya. Can you please once again define what is meant by object orientation?
So object orientation means it refers to the step to the entity, real life world that Java developers will have to face it.
No, could you please repeat it once again?
So it refers to the step to the entity
Step.
that step is like a real life world objects. The Java developer should know about it, the what they are going to work on it.
Were you present for the object orientation class?
So actually not. I'm not not presented that way.
What was the reason, Supriya?
So I was sick that day. So, sorry.
Okay, it was
I
day
was not.
before yesterday. How's your health now?
I'm okay now, sir.
Okay. Honest and dedicated student, I understand there would be health reasons. You were not part of the live session. That's okay, but later at least you could just log into the LMS. You could have watched the
Yeah, sir.
session.
Actually, I did it, but I didn't. I go. I'm sorry. Just a minute. I logged in it, but I didn't watch the previous day section. I watched the last before that sections.
Right, Supriya. Please do not have any backlogs. Try to watch it and stay in sync with everyone else. I mean, see, if you have not watched object orientation, I am telling you upfront, you'll not understand anything today.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
So it was needed that you had to watch it and then you had to join. No, don't have to be sorry. That's quite uh, critical word. Just make sure you are staying in sync with everyone else. Right, Supriya? You can mute
Yeah,
yourself.
yes, sir.
Tawheed Alam, please unmute yourself. Second call, Tawheed Alam, please unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Tawheed. Were you present for the object orientation class?
Uh, Sorry, sir. उसकी- Hello.
You're audible, Tawheed.
Yes, sir.
I asked, were you present for the last class?
No, sir.
What was the reason, Tawheed?
Uh,
Tawheed, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
You're from which college?
Yes, sir.
Which college?
Dhyan Sagar Art Commerce College.
Okay. Please do send me a message in the chat box, Tawheed, what was the reason for your absence in the last class?
Okay, sir.
Right, you can mute yourself. Right, perfect. Let us continue with the discussion for today. The object orientation concepts is what we are going to continue understanding it. I'm sure all of you remember this screen of mine. Just a second. Mukesh, I'll ask you some other question later. It's already about to become 7:30, so let us continue with the session now. Do you people remember the screen? This is where I concluded the last session, wherein we have the student object, a pictorial representation. I wanted to convert this pictorial representation into the program code. And then what is the fourth principle of object orientation? See, as my students, I want the principles of object orientation to be at the tip of your tongue. Randomly, if I ask fourth principle of object orientation, immediately you should be able to recall it. Fourth principle of object orientation happens to be that every object belongs to a type. The type is what we technically refer to it as a class. And classes, my friends, don't exist in reality. What exists in reality are the objects. So going by the first half of the fourth principle, that every object belongs to a type. What is a type called as? Class. That is why we first created this class. Sir, how do we create this class, sir? Very simple. It is by using the special word itself called as class. That's all. Just like how every variable will have a name, every method will have a name, every class also should have a name. A meaningful name in this example is the student class. That is what I have told it. Oh, great, sir. Sir, but what should be there inside the class, sir? Whatever you want to write the code for as the body of the class, it should be written within this pair of curly braces. This is technically called as body of the class. But what should be there, sir? Like I said, this class is nothing but a type. It is like a blueprint. What should be there in blueprint, sir? Whatever you want in the object. See, this is the object that all of you are planning to create. Later, you are going to create it here. See, this object, you will create it here. As of now, it is in pictorial representation. But once you create a student object, that student object should have a name, it should have a roll number, it should have a CGPA, it should have backlogs, it should be able to perform 4 different operations: eating, sleeping, coding, reading. But how can you expect all of this to be there in the student object, but it is not there in the blueprint? Doesn't make sense. I gave you this example in the last class also. Tomorrow, when you want to construct your house, and in your house, if you want 3 bedrooms to be created, then obviously in the blueprint also, from the architect, whatever you're going to take, in the blueprint also, you should have 3 bedrooms. So I hope all of you are able to understand. That is why in the pictorial representation, whatever the has part and the does part you have identified, this should be handled inside the class. How do we handle it, sir? It is not a rule, but it is a convention that first you handle the has part, later you handle the does part. But sir, we don't know how to handle the has part and does part, sir. Hey, you can't make that statement. You clearly know how to handle has part using the concept of fields. Nothing new, variables. How to handle does part using the concept of methods. Once again, nothing new, similar to functions. But sir, do we know the syntax? Yes, that also I've told you. 2 things will be there in a variable. Data type would be there, variable name would be there. For a method, 4 things would be there. Name of the method, within parentheses, parameters, which are definitely optional. Then there is going to be body of the function. Then at the last, you'll also have the return type. This syntax also separately I have explained it. Great, sir. Next word, sir. Now, going by the syntax rules here, that is how all of the 4 properties of the student object, which are going to form the has part, have been handled here. See, every property has a certain name, it has a certain data type. That is what we have done it here. There is a comment in YouTube, Vishal Gaikwad, hello world. No, I don't see any relevance for that comment. Please make sure you're going to keep the comment section as relevant as possible, because once your names are going to be seen in the attendance report and it seems to be irrelevant, definitely issuing the certificate would become a constraint. Anyways, coming back to the does part, see, I have identified there are 4 behaviors of the student object. Of course, we know in the real world, a student will have many behaviors. For the sake of our example, I have restricted myself to 4 behaviors: eating, sleeping, coding, reading. How do we implement behavior, sir? Using the concept of method. See, that is how I've done it. I have given the code for 2. I'm sure all of you will be able to write the code for another 2. That's it. Wonderful, sir. We understood, sir. How do we create a class? But, sir, have we created a student object so far? I'm really sorry about it. We have not created a single student object yet. All that we have created is a class. 0 student objects have been created. A class does not exist in reality. What exists in reality are the objects. That is why I had given you this example. Your class is like a blueprint. Will you take your family, shift inside the blueprint, and will you start living there? That is not going to be the case. That blueprint, once you get it from the architect, it should be converted into a real life house. And who is going to do that for us, sir? In real life, we have somebody called as the Mestri, nothing but the mason. Same thing is applicable here also. In Java also, your blueprint is nothing but a class. Somebody should take this class and they should convert it. Using that class, they should be able to create an object for us. And who is going to do that job, sir? Who is the Mestri in Java? The Mestri in Java is none other than your JVM itself. It is the job of the JVM software itself to do this. Am I clear, sir? But JVM will do many things, sir. How will I tell the JVM that, look, JVM, I want a new object to be created? It is there in your question itself. It is literally there in your question itself. You want to instruct the JVM to create a new object, right? Then you better use the special keyword as new itself. Automatically, JVM will understand. Did you guys understand so far? Good evening, Professor Deepak, sir. I could see your comments on YouTube also today. Right, perfect. Let's continue now. Now, from here, I have to teach you how to use the new keyword to create an object. Before that, whatever I have explained till now, I have also created a beautiful presentation for the same. I would like to share it with all of you here. See, observe this. You should be able to see my screen. We are understanding object orientation. It is one of the programming styles. Style is the hi-fi word for style is paradigm. That is what it is. Right, observe this. Object orientation. First, we understood the meaning of the word orientation. Orientation means point of view. Orientation means perspective. Orientation means the way of looking at something. What do you mean to say, sir? See, I will just put a very confusing image here on my screen. Trust me, not everybody is going to see the image the way you are seeing it. See, look at this image. It is definitely visually confusing. Some of you feel like there is a human body, but the head happens to be dog. Some of you feel like the head is being hidden inside the dog. Confusing. I'm telling you, not everybody is going to have the same perspective. Anyways, all of this, I had explained it in the previous class. There are also principles. Okay, of course, the orientation, glass of water, keep it in front of an optimist, half filled, pessimist, half empty, chemist, H2O, saint, Maya, and alcohol, drunkard would ask, where is alcohol? All of this, anyways, in the last class, I've explained it. Next. Now, I don't want to have a glass of water for the case study. I would like to have the entire real world itself. This real world, if I would keep it in front of a businessman, opportunities, beggar, miseries, politician, exploitation, saint, once again, same perspective, Maya. But what about you? Sir, who are we, sir? Am I an engineering student? No, no, no. I am assuming you're already a Java developer. From a Java developer's perspective, how should you look at this real world? You should look at this real world as a collection of objects. So you will not be set to have opportunities orientation. As a Java developer, you will not be set to have miseries orientation. You will not be set to have illusion oriented person. Since you are going to look at this world as collection of objects, congratulations, that perspective itself is called as object oriented perspective. So good, you're an object oriented developer now. You're a Java developer now. Why? Because you're going to look at this real world as collection of objects. Great, sir. This we had already understood. Let us quickly jump into the principles of object orientation. Very first principle, the world is a collection of objects. I told you, you can start writing. Definitely, you will run short of time, but there would be many more objects for you to count. Everything is nothing but an object. Every object is a useful object. No object is a useless object. Every object is in constant interaction with other objects. No object is an isolation. Fourth and the fifth principles are extremely important. Every object belongs to a type. The type is technically called as a class, but whereas the classes do not exist in reality, only the objects exist in reality. Last principle, every object has two parts, has part, does part. That is what we have been able to understand so far. Am I clear with this? Sir, why should we know these 5 principles of object orientation? As Zabi sir's students, you should know, I had told this in the last class also, all of these 5 principles of object orientation that we understood with respect to the real world, they also hold good for the Java project that you are going to be creating. Any software, any Java application will also be a collection of objects. All of you look at this, everyone. Just like the whatever you have it as world, simply replace it with the Java application, a Java project. The Java app is also going to be collection of objects. I hope now you understood. In your Java application also, every object would be a useful object. Whatever objects you're going to create it within your application, they would be constantly interacting it with some other objects. In your Java application also, every object will belong to a class. In your Java application also, every object is going to have 2 parts. So whatever rules I explained it with respect to the world, those rules holds good for the Java application also that you will be creating once you start working for a software company. Is that clear, everyone? Great, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means understand. The objects in real life is what we are going to understand. This is a student object. Every object, according to the 5 principles, fifth principle should have 2 parts, has part and does part. These are all the has parts. Student has a name, roll number, CGPA, and backlogs. Next, does part. A student is going to do all of these behaviors: eating, sleeping, writing, and reading. I think I have mentioned it as coding, but here there is writing. It's okay, nothing big difference. Anyways, this is a pictorial representation. I want to take this pictorial representation and I want to convert it into the programmatical code. How to do it, sir? This is how we had done it. Of course, as part is called as state or properties. Does part of an object is also referred to as behaviors or activities of an object. Is that clear, everyone? Right. And how do we handle has part? Fields. How do we handle does part? Methods. Anyways, all of this I've explained it. Just that I wanted to show this a visual representation, a beautiful presentation that I had created. Let us go ahead. The program code is what we should understand next. First of all, every object belongs to a type. The type is technically called as a class. That means Avishkar, before he goes ahead and creates an object, first of all, he has to create a class. So see, he's going to create a class. And every class should have a name. Obviously, a meaningful name would be student. And what should be there inside the class, sir? I told you, blueprint. Whatever you want in the real life in the future, you better have it in the blueprint. So see, I would go ahead. I would first handle the has part. How to handle has part? Fields. What are fields? Variables. Every variable should have two things: data type, variable name. So string name, integer roll number, float CGPA, Boolean backlogs. Congratulations, has part is completed. Now comes the does part. How to handle does part? Methods. So see, this is the general syntax of a method. Every method should have a name. The parameters are optional, so ignore it. It should have a body. Inside this curly braces, you will write some code. It should also have the return type. Good. This is the skeleton structure of a method. Great, sir. What body are you going to write, sir? I told you, I don't want to complicate your understanding. I would like to keep it as simple as possible. So simply one print statement is what I would like to mention it here. Do we know how to print a message in Java? Yes, system.out.println. That also across different programming languages, what the syntax is going to be, that also I've explained it already. Great, sir. Next word, sir. This is for the sleeping behavior. This is for the writing behavior. This is for the reading behavior. Anyways, this happens to be the has part of the student object. This happens to be the does part of the student object. Wonderful, sir. We understood so far. Next one. The object creation is what we are going to understand next. Just a second. One second, I'll just keep the presentation ready. Slide. Add a bit of changes. Perfect. After this, now that the class is ready, we have to understand what is the mechanism to create an object. So the object creation is what we are going to understand now. Observe this. In real life also, before you create any object, there is a certain prototype, there is a certain model, there is a certain blueprint that you are going to be preparing. Irrespective of what industry we are talking about, it could be the civil industry, it could be the mechanical industry, it could be the electrical industry. In every single industry, before you actually go ahead and create something, you first happen to build a model, a prototype, a blueprint is what you're going to create. So let us say this is the blueprint of a house, but of course it does not have physical existence. To convert this blueprint into a real life beautiful villa, you definitely need a mason, Bob the Builder. Anyways, so this person will look at the blueprint and 100% he's going to build a beautiful house like this for us. Same thing is also applicable in Java. So parallelly, you're going to understand what happens in Java. So see, what you have created so far, Madhuri, happens to be a class. A class is the blueprint of an object. So see, this is the same class that we have created. The student class, I've reduced the font because I want to show the code on this slide also. Next word, sir. Somebody should take this blueprint and convert into an object. Who is going to do that, sir? It is the JVM. How to instruct the JVM to do this? There is a keyword itself. You want to create a new object, so you better tell new. Once you do this, JVM, by looking at the class, he is going to create a real life object for us like this. You see, a student object has been created. Please, as my students, I don't ever want any of you to forget the definitions of class and object. What is a class? A class is the blueprint of an object. What is an object? An object is a real life entity. I don't even think so there is a necessity for you to mug up these definitions because you have understood everything practically here. A class is a blueprint of the object, whereas an object is a real life entity. Am I clear with this, everyone? Great. Now we should go ahead from here. We should see how to make use of the new keyword in order to create an object. Observe this. Let us go back here. Tell me, how do we create a new object in Java? The only way to create a new object in Java, Vaishnavi, is by using the new keyword. So how to do it, sir? This is how you should be doing it. Observe this. See, first of all, what you should be doing is you should tell new in your code. The moment you do this, immediately JVM understands what the programmer wants me to do now is he wants me to create a new object. That is okay, but JVM is perplexed. He's confused. What type of a new object do you want me to create? Should I create a fan object, dog object, or student object? You should see, you can't simply go to a Maestri and you can't ask that person to build a house for you. Boss, what type of a house do you want me to build? Is it an apartment? Is it an independent house? Is it a bungalow? Is it a villa? What are you looking for? Similarly, you should tell to the JVM, look, I want you to create a new student object. So you should specify the type also like this. Tomorrow you want to create a new dog object, then you should tell new dog. Now, what type of an object do you want to create, friends? You want the JVM to create a new student object for you. So you better tell the name of the type. What is the type name you have given to this type? I hope all of you are understanding what is meant by type here. It is nothing but your class. What is the name have you given to the class? Student. So you better give the same name there. So what would happen, sir? Now JVM knows that there is a blueprint. I should refer to this blueprint and I should create an object. Is that clear, everyone? So far, everything you have understood. New, to create a new object, you should specify the type of the object, which happens to be student. After this, mechanically, simply remember to place a set of parentheses like this. Sir, why should we place this? This is very, very early stages for you to understand something about constructors. I know at what point of time, what topic has to be introduced. In today's class, all of you are here to understand object creation mechanism. Do not make chocho bath in your heads. I know when to teach what. Anyways, so tell me, the moment you say new student, what is going to happen, sir? Immediately, for the very first time, see, I told you, whenever you create a class, will a class have any physical existence? 100% no. Sir, what do you mean by physical existence in software terminology, sir? Basically, because of this class, no extra memory will be allocated. That is the meaning of physical existence. When will the memory be allocated? Whenever you create an object. So see, observe this. The moment I do this new student, congratulations, in the memory, a new student object will be created like this. What is this, everyone? It is a student object that is created in the memory for the first time. Tell me, was this student object created when you created a class? Of course not. This was created when you created this object using the new keyword. So this is basically a student object that we have created. Sir, what will be there there inside the student object, sir? Too early for you to understand. I will teach you, don't worry. This is a student object that we have created. Great, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means Sir, for one class, is there any rule that we will be able to create only one student object? 100% no. And this is also nothing new to all of you. I wish I could keep my video on and come in front of all of you, but unfortunate, nothing can be done. Listen to this, at least listen to this carefully. Tell me, if you consider both male and female population as human beings, how many human being types do you think is there with the God? Only one. Same blueprint. Everybody should have two hands. Everybody should have two legs. Everybody should have one heart, one brain, one nose, one mouth. But do you think there is only one human being in the entire world? 100% no. For one blueprint, for one type, is it possible for you to have many objects? Absolutely yes. I don't know how many of you have noticed it. These days, you have these societies concepts where there are these big apartments. If you notice it, if an apartment has got 20 floors, in every floor, if there are 4 to 6 flats, every single flat on every single floor will have the exact same architecture. Have you noticed it? Have you come across such apartments where all of the flats will have the exact same architecture? The way the kitchen would be built, the way the bedrooms are going to be constructed, everything. So think and answer. 6 flats, let us assume 6 flats in every floor. And there are 20 floors. That means in total 120 flats. Do you think to the builder, the property owner gave 120 different blueprints to build 120 different flats? 100% no. How many blueprints were given, Vinaya? Just a single blueprint was given. But by referring to that one blueprint, is he able to create multiple flats for us? Absolutely yes. Similarly, my question to all of you was, for this one student class, is it possible for us to create many different student objects? Absolutely yes. In Java, for one class, any number of objects can be created. But the rule remains the same here also. What is the rule, sir? Whenever you want to create a new object, which software's help are you supposed to take? JVM. How to tell the JVM to create a new object? Once again, same story. Nothing is going to change here. Once again, I will tell, hey, JVM, please create a new student object for me. This is how it should be done. The moment I do this, what will happen, sir? Congratulations. Once again, in the memory, a new student object is going to be created like this. Like this. How many objects can be created, sir? N number. There is absolutely no upper limit at all. This is another student object that is going to be created. So tell me, how many student classes did we create? 1. How many student objects have we created in our program? 2. That is what we have done. Am I clear with this, everyone? Okay, I have a quick question which I would like to randomly ask. No, I would like to ask it generically to all of you. Please be ready to answer. Each of these student objects, how many properties and how many behaviors have they got? I repeat the question once again. We have created 2 student objects, no doubt about it. My question is, each of this student object, how many properties it has got and how many behaviors it can exhibit, it can display for us. Think about it, Aniket. I'm expecting the answer from the YouTube audience also. Okay, let me reveal the answer, which is quite straightforward. If anybody would ask me this question, I would simply check. You are asking how many properties and how many behaviors would be exhibited by each of these student objects, right? I would simply go and refer to its type. Tell me what type of objects are these student objects. So please go to the student class. Inside the student class, I would check. See, inside the student class, I would check how many properties are there, how many variables are created as has part, how many methods are created as does part. Because I told you the other day, the other name for has part is properties state. So how many variables have we created? 4. It means if both of these student objects have got 4 properties. How many methods or functions have we created as part of the does part? 4. And what is the does part also referred to as? Behaviors, activities. That is how simple my question was. How many properties? How many behaviors? 4 properties, 4 behaviors. Because that is what Aniket had defined inside the blueprint, which is nothing but the class. Did you all understand so far? Perfect. Now that you are yourself telling me that, sir, each student object has 4 properties and 4 behaviors, I want to activate eating behavior and sleeping behavior on the first student object. Please tell me how to do it. Okay. I before this, I have a question. Do both these student objects are aware of eating behavior and sleeping behavior? I hope there is no doubt about it. Of course, yes, because see, in the blueprint, you have eating, sleeping, coding, and reading. So they're very familiar, they're aware that of these behaviors. Now I want to activate 2 of the behaviors on the first student object. How to activate, sir? Obviously by using the name of the behaviors. So see, understand this. If I would say eating, this is how it should be done. Use the name of the behavior, place a semicolon, because this time you're not defining it. Definition is already provided. You're simply calling it. Technically, we say it is a method call. And next you are going to tell sleeping like this. The moment you do this, immediately the Java compiler is confused. A programmer, you have created 2 student objects. On which student object do you want me to activate the behaviors of eating and sleeping? Is it on the first student object or is it on the second student object? Compiler is confused. He is in dilemma now. So what should we do, sir? That is why whenever you create a student object, to refer to that student object at a later point of time, you should have given a reference to it. You should have given a handle to it, a name to it. Sir, what are you talking, sir? Very simple. What I'm talking is the object creation statement that you see on the screen here. It is just 50% of it. Just a minute. Right. Let's continue now. See, I was telling this object creation statement that you see on the screen, new student, it is just partial statement. It is 50%. The remaining 50% is a good developer will not only create an object, once he is going to create an object to refer to the student object in the future, he would also assign a reference. Trust me, nobody would be able to explain you the object orientation, the class concept, the object concept, the way I'm explaining here. It is very rare. So please focus and understand. So what are you trying to say, sir? Like I said, once you create an object, it is your responsibility to also assign a reference to that object. What do you mean to say, sir? For example, to the first student object, I want to assign a reference. Maybe, see, I'll do one thing. I'll assign the reference over here. I want to assign the reference called as S1. So what would happen, sir? I'll first better write the code here. I would come to the LHS of this statement. I would say S1 equal to new student. That means once the student object is created, to that student object, please assign a reference. So what would happen, sir? See, immediately in the memory, a reference called as S1 is going to be assigned like this. So that in the future, whenever Arif Ali wants to refer to the student object, all that he has to do is use the name S1. That is what he should be doing it. Am I clear with this? But I told you in Java, every variable should have a data type. So this S1 is also like a variable, but you see that no data type has been specified here. Sir, what should be the data type of S1, sir? Should it be integer? Should it be float? Should it be string? No, no, no. See, if you create a variable, I will give you the analogy here. If you create a variable A, if it is holding integer data 10, then you tell A happens to be integer type of a variable. I hope you're understanding it. Think and answer, is this variable S1, is it holding integer object? No. What object is it holding, man? It is holding a student object. Common sense then. The type of S1 also should be student type. Why is it so confusing? Because you only told me, sir, if a variable is holding integer data, then the type of that variable should be integer type. But my variable S1 here is not holding integer value here. It is holding a student object. Then common sense, what should be the type of that variable? It should be student type. Why is it so confusing? Even though it is not confusing, but some of you are getting confused yourself. I can't help it. Anyways, so congratulations. This is a complete object creation statement. This is how we create objects in Java. Similarly, you should do the same thing for the second student object also. So please observe this. To the second student object also, I would give a reference. Maybe this reference, I would call it as S2. And the moment I do this, what would happen, sir? In the memory also, JVM would assign this reference to the student object. And tell me, this reference S2 is pointing to what type of an object? It is pointing to student object. So what should be the type of S2? Integer or float? Neither. It should be student type. Am I clear with this? Great. Now coming back to my original question here. I would be interested in activating eating behavior and sleeping behavior on the first student object. Now, can you tell me, if I have to avoid the confusion, if I have to avoid the ambiguity, should I simply tell eating, sleeping? No, no, no. I should use the reference of the first student object. What is the reference given to the first student object? S1. So congratulations. This is the right syntax of calling a method in Java. You should not simply tell eating. You should tell S1 dot eating. What about the sleeping behavior also, sir? That also you should do it accordingly. Here also you should tell S1 dot sleeping. Now, is there any scope for the compiler to be confused? 100% no, because I'm telling I want to activate eating behavior on the first student object, sleeping behavior on the first student object, and the reference to the first student object is yes1. I hope all of you have understood the process of object creation in Java. Anyways, now I have another question. Let us say I want to activate the coding behavior and reading behavior on the second student object. Can you tell me what is the syntax going to be? Please send your messages in the chat box. Mohammed Rashid is asking why dot, sir? That is the syntax. That is what James Gosling has given the rules, Rashid. If you don't use dot, if you tell yes1 eating, doesn't really make sense. To indicate you're calling a behavior on a particular object, you should use the dot operator there. Good. See, correct. All of you are absolutely right. This time I should tell yes2 dot coding. That is what I should be telling. Next, I should tell yes2 dot reading. In this case, these two behaviors will be activated on the student object. I hope all of you are understanding so far. Is it clear, everyone? Perfect. Right. I was expecting at least one of you to ask me this question, but since none of you have asked, I will ask myself and I will myself also answer to this. My question is, can I once again call the eating behavior on the first student object? Yes or no? Can I once again call the eating behavior on the first student object when I have already called it here? And once again, I'm calling it here. So is it permitted or not? See, you don't even have to think so much technically. Because see, object orientation programming paradigm, how did I introduce it? I told you it is very close to the our real world, how things work in our real life. That is how object oriented programming paradigm principles also are. Now, my question to all of you who are telling no, we can't call. As a human being, do we also have the eating behavior defined? Yes, all of us know how to perform the eating activity. Are you eating only once in your entire life? That is what it means when you tell no. Once a particular behavior is already defined to that particular object, that behavior can be called n number of times as long as you want to. How many ever times you want to. That means, to answer to your question, can we call the eating behavior once again on the student object? Forget about once again. You can call it 366 times, which is the number of participants in the Zoom session. There is no upper limit at all. Are you understanding now? That is why intentionally I wanted to refer to the same method once again, because I know that at least 20 to 30% of you will go wrong in this. Is that clear, everyone? And what is the rule whenever you want to call a method? I don't want any of my students to forget the rule here. The rule is whenever you want to call a method, it should always be called with an object reference. Can you tell me the reason why? I had told you because JVM will be confused. on which object to call the behavior. That is one. Another reason is this also has got, okay, no, see, whatever next I'm going to speak, it is going to be little complicated technically. You tell me, should I speak or should I skip and move forward? Because I have already told you what is the importance of using object reference. Because if you simply tell eating, there are two student objects, then JVM will be confused on which student object to call the eating behavior. This is one reason. There is also one more reason. Do you want me to share with you or should I skip and move forward? Because it is little complicated. In fact, it is not even complicated because who is speaking it? Anyways, now understand this. Why it is important and why it is a rule in Java to call a method always with an object reference. My friends, this also has got something to do with the object-oriented programming principles. Sir, how is this related to object-oriented programming principles? Think and answer. Once again, you don't have to think too much technical. Let us imagine we did not create any objects at all. We did not create any objects at all. And Rohit in the program code is directly calling eating, sleeping. But I told you, no objects itself have been created in the program code so far. Do you think this should be permitted? A common sense it is. Just understand. See, okay, I once again want to emphasize this. Listen to me, everyone. Listen to me. What is that I have created in my program so far? Only class. Do classes exist in reality? No, objects exist in reality. I have not created objects, but I want to show these behaviors for the objects. Do you think it makes sense? See, for example, all of you know we human beings have the behavior of, let us say, we have the behavior of eating. Let us go with the eating behavior only. You know that every human being has the eating behavior. But let us say, as of now, when you're attending my session now, next to you, nobody is there. You don't have another human being sitting next to you, assume. But you want the eating behavior to be exposed. You want the eating behavior to be exhibited. Tell me, without another human being existing next to you, will you be able to display the eating behavior without the object? 100% no. That is what I am also trying to tell you. This also has got something to do with the object-oriented programming principles. The inventor of Java, the creator of Java, did not want anybody to directly call the methods without creating the object, because this is against the principles of object-oriented programming paradigm. That is why he said, hey, Java developers, whenever you want to call methods, you have to always call along with the object reference like this. But will you be able to use object reference without assigning them to object? 100% no. So this you would have already done it in advance like this. Now, is this permitted, sir? Yes. Now, James Gosling would allow you. Hey, permitted. Go ahead. I hope now you are understanding it. Why it is a rule to always call a method along with the object reference in Java. Because in object-oriented programming paradigm, you should be able to expose the behaviors to the outside world only after creating an object. Common sense, object only is not there, but you want to show these behaviors. In your room, as of now, you don't have a dog object, but I will ask you to unmute and show me the barking behavior of the dog object. Tell me who can do this now. Don't tell, sir, I will myself bark. I want to see, I want to listen, I want to see the barking behavior of the dog. Hey, do all of us agree that dogs have barking behavior? Yes, we know that. Common sense it is. Natural law. As of now, in the room from where you're sitting and attending this session, you don't have a dog object, but I want you to show the barking behavior of the dog. Can you show that to me? It is not possible. Why? Because to show the behavior, what is needed? I'm asking everyone to show the behavior. What is, hey, don't tell dog. To show the behavior, what is needed is the object is needed. Good, good. Now all of you understood it. What I'm trying to convey here. Anyways, this was just additional information for you people. Hope all of you have understood it correctly. Right. Did all of you understand so far? There is this YouTube comment from a student, Jia Fu, that is extremely disrespecting to use my name there. Whoever you are, I don't give a damn about it, but please make sure you don't repeat it again. Anyways, so let's move forward now. Please have a thorough glance of this, whatever is on my screen. See if you have any doubts with respect to the object creation process. Please have a look at it. And meanwhile, Amar sir, are you there? Please have a thorough glance at my screen. Please have a thorough glance at it. Next, there is an assignment for all of you. Yeah, also one more piece of information. Listen to me, everyone. All of your eyes on the screen. Please refrain from sending such messages. It is disheartening and I sincerely lose the interest. Anyways, see, you see this reference S1, right? I have been telling you this is technically called as a reference. Also, it is called as an handle. Either way, you can either call it as a reference or it is also going to be called as a handle. Same thing for the any reference for any object. This is just an extra piece of information that I would wanted to share with all of you. Right. Now, are you all up for the assignment? This assignment should be completed in the live class right away. And just to mention, today, no attendance link is going to be shared. You complete the assignment, immediately write the code, send the code to me, automatically the attendance would be given. So please go ahead. What is the assignment, sir? 1 second. I'm going to delete everything from the screen. If you send me the code for the assessment, only then the attendance is going to be given. I repeat once again. Do not keep asking for the attendance link. We are not going to share the attendance link today. Right. I want all of you to complete the assignment for the fan object. So listen to the problem statement correctly so that you don't commit any mistakes. So see, I would give you the pictorial representation. It is for you to give me the code. Let us consider this fan object, and every object is going to have two parts, the has part and the does part. What is there in the has part, sir? Nothing but the properties of the object. Fan has a certain number of wings. So number of wings. Fan has a certain brand. Fan has a certain color. Fan has a certain price. So all of these are the properties of a fan object. Of course, it can have many other things, but enough for the example. Fan will also have many behaviors. Fan has the behavior of starting. Fan has the behavior of rotating. Fan has the behavior of blowing air. Fan has the behavior of stopping. Like this, of course, Shoaib can go ahead and add many more properties, many more behaviors, but I don't want. This is all I'm interested in. Omkar, Krishna, please do not send me the code now. Wait for my instructions. So this fan object should be converted into the programmatical code, first thing. After which, in total, I would be expecting all of my students today to create 3 fan objects for me. F1, F2, and F3. 3 fan objects should be created. After which, I want Just a second. Once you have created 3 fan objects, I want you to go ahead and on the first fan object, I would be interested in you calling the starting behavior and the stopping behavior on the first fan object. This is what I would like to do. I would want you to do. On the second fan object, I simply want you to activate the starting behavior. Then I want you to activate the blowing air behavior. That's all. And on the last fan object, I want you to activate all of the 4 behaviors: starting, rotating, blowing air, and the stopping behavior. That's all. Very simple assignment. Somebody who has understood clearly the student object example, you should be able to easily do this for me. That is all. I once again write it on my screen. I don't want unnecessary questions in the chat box again and again. Attendance, attendance, attendance. Do not keep crying for that. I want you to complete the assignment. Program code would be considered as attendance. Right. Please be quick. Open the notepad in your computer. Write the code for this. At the last, copy the code from there, paste it in the chat box and send it to me. It's 8:29. Let us say it is 8:30 exactly. You have got 10 minutes from now. 8:40, I want the assignment to be completed. All of you should share the code with me. Please go ahead. Yamini, don't have system? Type it in your mobile phone. This announcement is for the Zoom, for the YouTube audience. In order for you to send the program code to me and so that I'll be able to evaluate and consider it, we have also shared the Zoom session link. So all of you immediately join the Zoom meeting with the link Amar sir has shared on YouTube, comment under the live chat section. So please connect over Zoom and you can leave the YouTube live session there. I repeat the announcement once again. Those of you who are attending this live session on YouTube Live, we have shared the Zoom link in the live chat. Please join the session over Zoom so that you can send me the program code in the meeting chat on the Zoom application. So please stop attending this through the YouTube Live and hop onto the Zoom meeting session. The Zoom meeting link has already been shared in the live chat. You just have to click on it. You don't need any meeting ID or passcode to join. And those of you who are asking for attendance, please read whatever I've written it on my screen. You have time till 8:40 to complete the assignment. If it is asking passcode to join, that passcode also has been shared. HY capital V small letter 75N. Read the comment in the live chat, right? That also, do I have to teach you how to read? The problem statement is quite simple. Oreva Nix. This pictorial representation of the fan object should be converted into the program code. I repeat, the YouTube audience, all of the students there, please join the Zoom meeting. You have all been waiting eagerly to directly chat with me through Zoom. Now that I have shared the link, please do join. Paresh and Snehal, not done with the assignment, but please join over Zoom. Mercer, can you please share the Zoom link once again in the YouTube chat? Please get connected to me via Zoom. Paresh Jagtap. The language you're using here, it directly reflects your upbringing. You don't have enough dignity to respect your teachers who are teaching you all of these things free of cost. You say chalu hai. I'm telling you directly, it reflects your upbringing from your parents. So if you don't want to portray your parents in a negative uh, spectrum, please make sure you know the language to use. You also know how to maintain the decorum of these classes. After submitting the code, please stay on the Zoom itself. You can stop attending it from the YouTube live. Gauri, why can't you join? Code also has been sent in the last message from ExcelR. Please try refreshing YouTube. You'll be able to. Good to see that most of you have completed the assignment and have also received the code, but still, I feel there are at least 40% of them who are yet to complete it. Surutika V. I wanted the code in Java, not in Python, please. Everyone, please join Zoom session. The link is shared with all of you. And it is also going to provide you better user experience. over YouTube Live, there is a small amount of delay, but on the Zoom, there is no delay. It's quite syncing. Please complete it fast. It's already 8:45. All of you, please join the Zoom meeting. If you can send me the code by copy pasting also, it's fine. Screenshot also should be fine. Two more minutes. I'm going to stop accepting the solutions and we will have to continue with the discussion. I once again see मुझे बिल्कुल समझ में ही नहीं आता why is that confusion on YouTube asking for attendance link when I have clearly written it on my screen that attendance would be provided today only if you complete this assignment. So please do not waste your time asking for attendance link. I'm not going to share it today. The assignment that you have sent to me over the chat would be considered as assignment, would be considered for your attendance. No assignment links. The question is already there on my screen. Obviously, if you have joined now after 8:30, आपको ये भी सीडी भी पता नहीं होगा कि इसका असाइनमेंट क्या है, प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट क्या है, इसको कैसे सोल्यूशन बनाना है, तो क्लियरली आपको आज अटेंडेंस मिलने वाला नहीं है. सो स्टॉप वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. Right. Thank you, Rohit Kadu, for understanding. Chandan, I see that you are once again asking for the same attendance link. Please join the Zoom meeting. The link is already shared in the YouTube live chat. Send me the assignment code. Attendance would be provided. That is why, Priyanka, you should join the Zoom meeting. The link has once again been shared by Amar sir. Those of you who are sending me the solution over the Zoom meeting chat, all of your solutions are going to be saved. The chat, once we end the meeting, is going to be saved on our local computers as well as on the cloud. So don't worry, I am going to go through every single one of your assignment. Then Moria Kanta, you can continue to attend the session over Zoom itself. Perfect. I see that there are some students who doesn't need a lot of instructions. Proactive, समझ में आ जाता है कि sir क्या instructions दे रहे हैं, क्या follow करना चाहिए. Others unnecessarily confused. Okay, perfect. And I'm happy that some of you are actually writing and executing the code on your computers, and then you're also sending me the screenshots over here. Right. Okay, I have a small request from the YouTube audience. It's very frustrating to respond to every other person who's asking for attendance. Can my students themselves take care of this? If anybody is coming and asking for attendance, can you please give them a reply? It's a request to the YouTube audience. जो भी attendance link again and again आके पूछ रहा है, please give them a reply that whatever the instructions I have given. Randomly जब मन चाहे you hop into the session, attendance link. Attendance link लेके क्या करोगे? When you join the companies, they're not going to ask how many sessions did you attend. What technical knowledge have you gained? That is what they're asking. Okay, anyways, I have got just 10 more minutes. Right. Great. All of you, please listen to me. Good. Over Zoom itself, I have got close to 600 participants. Very good, very good. Listen to me, everyone. Now, the easiest way to check whether whatever the code that you have written is right or wrong, the easiest way to do that is I will first write the code myself, verify if that is how you have also written it. So it's a self-evaluation approach that I want all of you to use it here. See, observe this. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Shri Radha Rani on YouTube. Right, perfect. Now understand this. See, I told you, if you have to create a fan object in your program code, okay, do not bother about any messages, any chats. No, it is you, your career, your skill. Concentrate on my explanation, everyone. If you have to create any object, what is the prerequisite? Very good. According to the fourth principle of object orientation, every object belongs to a type. The type is technically called as a class. So, sabse pehle we have to create a class. Only then we will be able to go ahead and create an object. Am I clear with this, everyone? So see, how do we create a class, sir? Bahut simple, very simple it is. To create a class, you just have to use this special keyword itself called as a class. Every class, just like every variable and every method should have a name. This time, why will I give the name to this class a student class? Because ultimately, I'm creating this class so that in the future, I can create fan objects. So a meaningful name to this class should be the fan class. And whatever code you want to write for the fan class, you should write it in between these curly braces. Sir, what code should I write, sir? Whatever you want in the fan object in the future, that you should write it here. Sir, what do I want, sir? I have only told in the pictorial representation here that my fan object should have 4 properties. My fan object should be aware of 4 behaviors. Then that you should write the code inside the blueprint. What is your blueprint called as? Your blueprint is nothing but the class. So let us please go ahead. Can you tell me, how do we handle this hash part? Very good. We handle the hash part using fields. So see, observe this. I'm going to handle the hash part. The name of the first property. Fields are nothing but variables. Every variable should have a name. So this itself is going to become the name, number of wings. And see, number of wings of a fan will usually be 3, 4. You will not have any fan which will have 2.5 wings. I mean, if your fan has 2.5 wings, you would have done some circus with it. Basically, it would be an integer variable. So see, I'm going to declare it as integer type. Good. Next word, sir. I see there is another property, brand. Brand itself is going to become the variable name. Brand of a fan can be Usha, it can be Khaitan, basically series of characters, nothing but string type. Good, good. Next, I have the color. Color of the fan can be brown, it can be white, it can be cream, it can be black. Once again, it is a string. Brown, BROWN, series of characters. I hope all of you are understanding it. Finally comes the price. That is another variable here. And price of a fan, I mean, if you want to consider both rupees as well as paise, then you can declare it as float type. Nice, sir. I don't want to handle the paise, only rupees. Then go with integer. As simple as that. Am I clear with this, everyone? I once again request my YouTube students, please do not waste your time sending the code over the YouTube live chat. Concentrate, focus on my explanation. Anyways, so are we done with the hash part, everyone? Perfect. Next, let us concentrate on the dust part. Can you please tell me, how do we handle the dust part? Very good. Using the concept of methods. Do we know what is the skeleton structure of a method? Yes. What is the very first behavior of the fan object here? Starting behavior. So see, that itself is going to become the method name. How to differentiate between a method and a variable, sir? A variable will not have parentheses after the name, but a method will have parentheses like this. And I also told you, only method name is not enough. How that activity should be performed, that should be written as the body of the method. Am I clear? See, in the body, I don't want to complicate. I mean, if at all it was a real fan application, when you're working for companies like Bosch, GE, General Electric, Philips, then literally how a fan is going to start, that code you had to write here. First, the electricity supply has to flow through it. Then the motor has to start working. It is going to generate enough mechanical energy that it is going to rotate. It'll be able to gain so much of threshold that it will be able to rotate the fan wings, the blades. That would be the case if it was a real fan application. We are here to understand simple example of the fan object here. So without complicating further, I would simply tell system.out.println, and here I would say fan is starting. That's all, because only for the sake of explanation purpose. That system.out.println also is a lengthy statement. Hence, I'm going to simply write it as SOP. But you don't have to write SOP. Since I am an experienced professional, I can write it. You're a learner. More the number of times you're going to write these things, everything will become mechanical for you. Perfect, sir. Next word, sir. Also, I told you return type is important. Sir, I'm not returning anything. So should I tell nothing? I have explained this in the last class itself. Nothing is not a return type. You should tell void. Good, good, good. I appreciate my Zoom students here. Very prompt response. Perfect, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means the next behavior happens to be the rotating behavior. That itself is the method name, because I told you how to handle does part. It is already written here. It is using the concept of methods. Every method should have a name. After the name, set of parentheses, within the curly braces, body of the method. How to rotate? Actual code would be different, but I don't want to complicate. I will simply print a message. So here I would say fan is rotating. Return type, not returning anything, so it should be void. Finally, the third method there. So I will directly write it void blowing air, and within the body of the method, system.out.println. Here I would say fan is blowing air. Finally, the last method, I'll just remove this space because I don't have space at the bottom. Void stopping, and here it should be system.out.println. Within double quotes, I would say fan is stopping. Did all of you understand so far? Perfect. Now, once again, a quick question to all of you. Can you please tell me how many fan objects have we created so far? How many fan objects have we created so far? Very good. All that we have created so far is a fan class, and classes don't exist in reality. What exists in reality are only the objects, and the only way to create an object, I told you in today's class, it is by using the new keyword. I don't know about your eyesight, but my eyesight is very clear. I don't see anywhere on my screen using the new keyword. So I have literally not created a single fan object. Hence, 0 fan objects have been created so far. Is that clear, everyone? So how do we create a fan object? It is created using the new keyword. So see, I would go ahead and I want to create how many fan objects I told you in the table also here I've shown 3 fan objects. So see, I would say new fan like this. But if I would simply stop it here, what would happen, sir? See, what would happen is simply like this, a fan object would be created. I would say this is a fan object that we have created. But if I go ahead and create another fan object, will I be able to refer to this first fan object once again? It is not possible. So what is that I should be doing? Very good. The moment I create a fan object, I should also assign a reference to it. So see, I would say F1 equal to new fan like this. The moment I do this, congratulations, for this fan object, a reference called as F1 is also going to be assigned like this. So that in the future, whenever you want to refer to this object, you will be easily able to refer to this. Good. Now see, and what should be the type of this reference F1? F1 this time, my friends, it is not pointing to student object, it is pointing to fan object. That is why the type of F1 should also be fan type like this. Did you understand so far? Perfect. Now for the next two fan objects, I will directly write the object creation statements. I want to create one more fan object. You have to think and answer. Is it, please do not leave the session, though I know it's already past 9 o'clock. There is an important announcement at the end of the class today. For one class, is it possible to create multiple fan objects, multiple objects? Absolutely yes. So see, I would go ahead, I would create another fan object. But you think and answer. Whenever you have to create a new object, how to do it? Compulsorily, we have to use the new keyword like this. Here I should tell new fan like this. The moment I do this, immediately another fan object would be created. And to that fan object, I want to assign the reference F2. F2 would be referring to fan object. That is why the type of F2 also should be fan type. So what would happen, sir? The moment I do this, another fan object is going to be created like this. Trust me, for the same session, I teach working professionals also in the name of corporate training. You have no idea how much money they have to shed to listen to this class of mine, to understand the classes, objects, and the object orientation concept in general. Anyways, something that's given free of cost, we Indians don't value it. Nevertheless, so we have one fan class. Can I go ahead and create one more fan object? Yes, of course I can do it. But whenever I have to create a new fan object, what keyword am I supposed to use? I should use the new keyword. I should tell new. But what type of an object should I create? Should I tell student object? No, no, no. I have to create a fan object like this. And to this fan object also, I would assign a reference called as F3. The type of F3 is going to be fan type. So what would happen, sir? The moment this line is executed, immediately another fan object is going to be created for us for only one class. And to this fan object, we have assigned the reference as F3 within our program code, and F3 will start pointing to this particular fan object like this. Is it clear, everyone, so far? Perfect. Now I have told you I should be able to call all of these behaviors on three fan objects. That I think it's going to be quite simple. Tell me, on the first fan object, what behaviors I should be calling? Starting and stopping, right? What is the reference to the first fan object? F1. So very quickly, F1 dot starting. Next, I should tell F1 dot stopping like this. Next, on the second fan object, F2 dot starting, because what is the reference to the second fan object? F2. Next, I should tell F2 dot blowing air. Next, I should be telling F3 dot starting, F3 dot rotating, F3 dot blowing air, F3 dot stopping. Excuse me. Right. With this, we have completed the assignment. I hope all of you have also done the same thing. Now, there are few changes I'm sure all of you wouldn't have paid attention to. What do you mean to say, sir? You think the program code that you have sent to me is correct. Of course, most of you have sent it correct. But some of you, though you have sent me the entire program code, I was going through the chat section here, reviewing your code. It is not correct. You will not be able to either compile or run such programs. You will get compilation errors. What do you mean to say, sir? There are two different kinds of words in this program code. One that is already known to Java. One that is going to be given by the programmer, that is you and me. One that is already known to Java, we have to use it as it is. What do you mean to say, sir? See, this word called as class, you and I did not introduce this. James Gosling told me, Zabi, whenever you want to create a class, you should use this word class. That means this is known to Java. This word called as integer, known to Java. This word called as string, known to Java. Similarly, float, similarly, void, all of this. In fact, this word called as new is also known to Java. Now, whichever words are known to Java, you have to use it as it is. Sir, what do you mean to say, sir? For example, tell me, this word class, how is it known to Java? Small letter C, small letter L, small letter A, small letter SS. Sir, in my program, if I have used the word class, but starting with capital letter C like this, will the program code not work, sir? I'm really sorry to tell you this, 100% it will not work. You will get a compilation error. That is what I'm trying to tell you here. In this case, Java happens to be a very important derivation here. Java is a case-sensitive programming language. That means there is a huge difference to Java between small letter C and capital letter C. So you have to make sure you're going to use these special words the way Java is going to know them. Sir, but you also said there are few words which we programmers are going to use. For example, tell me, this word called as fan. Do you think this was known to Java? No, no, no. This is a word which you and me have given it. We have done the Namkarna for this naming ceremony. Number of wings, we have decided. Brand, we have given the name. Color, we have given the name. Price, we have given the name. Starting, we have given the name. Name of the class, name of the variables, name of the method. All of this, we decided what should be called. In fact, this reference F1, F2, F3 also we have decided. All of these are the names which you and me have decided it. Am I clear with this, everyone? Sir, whenever we are giving some names, are there any rules for us to follow? 100% yes, but the word rules is not the correct word here. Technically, we say it is a convention. What do you mean to say, sir? Whenever you use the words which are already known to Java, it is a rule. You have to use it as it is. See, again, I repeat, I can't really emphasize through my words how important this, whatever I'm speaking now in the last 3 minutes, exactly before 9:20, I will wrap up the session. Do not worry about it. And please do not leave. Like I said, there is an important announcement at the end of the class. I once again repeat, all of these words which are already known to Java, you have to use it as it is. It is a rule. But all of these words which you are going to decide the names as a programmer, is it a rule that it should be written as it is? Sir, it is not a rule. We say it is a convention. There is a difference between rule and convention. For example, what is the convention, sir? Always your class name should start with a capital letter. Some of you have sent me the code where the word fan is starting from small letter F, which is wrong. It is, once again I repeat, sir, is it a convention, sir? अगर से मैं अपने कोड में फैन को स्मॉल लेटर एफ से स्टार्ट करूंगा तो will my program code not work? I never made that statement. 100% your code will work. That is why I am playing very smart here. I did not say it as a rule. It is a convention. Sir, difference क्या है? Don't worry, I will explain. So tell me, what is the convention to name a class? Class name should always start with the capital letters. Variable names, method names should always start with small letters. Some of you starting, yes, you would have written capital, not appreciated. Though program will work, but it is not appreciated. But sir, can you please tell what is the difference between rule and convention? See, how do I explain this? It is just simple English statements. Just a second. Though I'm not really keeping well today, but it is such an important concept. I feel like coming on the screen. I know my face looks quite ugly today, but nothing to do. Whether you like my face or you don't like my face, you have got no other option. Anyways, listen to this. See, rule is something which at any cost you have to abide by it. If you don't follow it, you will be liable for punishment. As simple as that. For example, in India, according to the Constitution of India, if you physically hurt another person, it is a violation of a rule. Hence, you will be subjected for punishment. You would be liable for punishment. For example, if you happen to kill somebody, if you happen to murder somebody, there is a specific punishment that you have to go through. Life imprisonment, maybe some 15 lakh rupees of compensation to the victim's family, something. Because why? You have broken a rule here. Because it has been written in the Constitution of India. At the same time, nowhere in our constitution, in the Indian constitution, it has been written what should be the dress code of the Indian citizens. What do you mean to say, sir? See, again, you should take my examples very positively. It is only for the sake of your understanding I'm explaining all of this here. Abhijit, I would request you to concentrate on my explanation instead of greeting somebody. Anyways, in the Constitution of India, nowhere it has been told how the clothing has to be worn, dress code. For example, see, it is understood, it is common sense. There are certain clothes which should be worn inside. There are certain clothes which you should be wearing it outside. Now, if you tell me, no, Zabi sir, I won't follow this. I will go exactly opposite. Whatever I wear it inside, I told you, you should take the examples very positively, only for the explanation purpose. Disclaimer is also given. Whatever I wear inside, I will wear outside. Whatever I'm going to wear outside, I will wear it inside. Then what will happen, sir? Nothing really big. Whenever you're walking in Pune, whenever you're walking in Bangalore, behind you, you will see 3-4 vans coming. NDTV, Republic TV, Aaj Tak, all of these news channels, they will start to cover you. Hey, dekho, look at this Superman of Pune. Look at this Superwoman of Bangalore. That is how you will be greeted. That's all. You will be another topic of news channel debates for that particular day. But will CBI come looking for you to arrest you, put you in jail, lifelong imprisonment? 100% no. Why? Because you have not violated a rule here. What you have violated is a convention that everybody follows without any hard written message anywhere. That is what is technically called as a convention. Hence, all of the Java developers, how many Java developers are there across the world, sir? There are more than 10 million Java developers across the world. All of these Java developers follow an unwritten rule, unsaid rule. Such unsaid rule is what we call as a convention, that whenever they happen to type any Java code, automatically they are going to name the class starting with a capital letter. variable names, method names, they are going to start their names with small letters. This is what is called as a convention. I once again repeat, sir, I don't want to follow the convention. Will my program code work? I told you, if you interchange your clothes, will you be arrested? Have you committed any mistake? No, no, no. That means if you don't follow the convention, it's absolutely okay. Your code will work, but it is not appreciated. Tomorrow, when another Java developer is going to look at your program code, that person will immediately realize, hey, he's a newbie to the world of development. He's a newbie to the world of programming. इसको conventions भी क्या होता है पता नहीं है. But class names, the word class, all of such words which is known to Java already, class, integer, float, boolean, void, all of these words are already known to Java. Sir, there can I write however I want, capital letter, lowercase characters, mixed case characters. There you don't have any option. It is like murdering somebody. 100% you violate the rule, you would be liable for punishment. Did you understand the difference between rule and convention? To explain this difference, I knew I have to come in front of you, only then you'll understand it better. Anyways, let us go back here. I told you such words which Java is going to know, you should use it as it is. Such words which you as programmers, it is a convention. What is a convention, sir? The way I have written the code. It is about this only. In our tomorrow's session, I am going to shed more light about it. What really is the convention for naming a class, naming variables, naming the methods? There are 4 different types of conventions in programming world. There is something called as the camel case convention, Pascal case convention, snake case convention, and I'm missing one more, kebab case convention. So what these 4 conventions are, if you want to know, you have to attend my class tomorrow. More about this is what I'm going to explain. But if you want to self-verify whatever code I have sent to Zabi sir, is it right or wrong? Then this is how you should have written the code. And through this, we have also been able to understand a very important conclusion about Java, that Java is a case-sensitive programming language. What about human beings, sir? We human beings are not case sensitive. We are case insensitive. Whether I tell Java in lowercase or Java in capital letters, how does it matter? Java is the name of a programming language. But whereas this programming language is a case sensitive programming language. Am I clear with this, everyone? Did all of you understand? Okay, if you want a reference of this program code, you can take a screenshot of this. Just a second. I'll also put it into full screen mode. Right. Please take a screenshot of this if needed, so that you can verify with your code. Right. I believe the screenshot was taken. Like I said, there is more for me to explain about the naming conventions, which I'm definitely going to explain it tomorrow. Right. I would definitely go through, if possible. I hope you're realizing it, how difficult it is to conduct the session. But anyways, I would go through all of your codes if possible, if time is permitted, because there are so many solutions sent across to me. That is why I realized the smart move here is I should write the code, you can verify it yourself. Now, for the attendance purpose here, everyone, I'm going to share the link now. So please provide your attendance and the feedback for today's session. Please go ahead, everyone. Shana, Fatima, thank you, Shana. But once again, it's already quite late. I will not be able to give you the differences between header file and object library file. We'll do it some other day. Amar sir, could you please share the attendance link?
Oh, yes, I'm posting 1 minute.
Thank you, Amar sir. Get well soon, sir. Thank you so much, sir. You're most welcome. The best way to respect your mentor's time, energy, and efforts is to maintain the decorum of the class. Because I believe somebody who lacks discipline in life, doesn't matter how much of skill set you will have, you will never ever achieve success in life. Please provide the attendance and the feedback for today's class. Right. From tomorrow onwards on YouTube, you will not be able to send across the messages while the session is going on. So at the beginning itself, we are going to share the Zoom link. So all of you have to attend the Zoom session itself from tomorrow onwards, and only here the attendance and the feedback link would be sent at the end of the class. So please make sure to remember this. Right then, thank you so much, everyone. I hope it was another yet another fruitful discussion, and definitely now you know what is a class. Now you know what is an object. I once again repeat, a class is the blueprint of an object, whereas an object is a real-time entity. It's a real-life entity. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you also enjoyed completing the fan object assignment. And there you understood something about rule and convention, which partially I have explained it. Tomorrow in detail, I'm going to explain it. So great. Then thank you so much, all of you. We shall meet tomorrow at the same time, 7 o'clock in the evening. Till then, please take care of yourself and your family members and keep learning. Do not waste your time. Something that's most precious in life, more than money, is the time. So make sure you wisely invest the time in places where it is going to have a positive impact on you and your career. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for all of your wishes for the speedy recovery. I hope by tomorrow, inshallah, I should be doing fit and fine. And don't worry, from here onwards, I think it's already the 10th day. I think I have got 6 more live sessions. So it would be continuously conducted. Right then. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night.
So guys, if you have any query or question for me, please drop in the chat box. We'll be there for 2 more minutes, then we'll end the session. Yeah, Kirtana, don't worry about that. Tomorrow I will connect with you via call. Okay, I hope there is no any such Q&A question for me. So guys, thank you so much for joining the session, and we'll meet you on tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night. Yeah, sure, Aditya. I will inform that. Thank you so much. Anyway, I will share that. Vishak is asking me, sir, how to connect Zoom meeting. Have you connected today to you?